Okay, you heard that, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Welcome to Black Girl in the World. If you don't know me, you will. And if you do, welcome back. Happy day. We are in fall and the autumn sweaters are being displayed in my closet as we speak. Today's guest has been a true king from the time I met him, present time, and will be forever. I see him doing his thing in school and when he's modeling. Please teach me. I am so honored that my king decided to join me on this episode talking about social media and healing. Welcome, Jeremiah. How are you today?
I am doing absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Like, it's truly an honor to be here.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Like, you were definitely the one that kind of started this episode first, really. And thank you.
Problem. No problem.
Okay. Ooh, my bad. So now let's discuss. We have to realize that we are going through a lot of things, especially this year with COVID and people are dying and mental health. Yeah, mental health is a huge thing.
It really is.
Yeah. Um, but there are some advantages and even disadvantages of being on social media while going through all of this. But what do you think is healing really?
Well, to me, in my own personal words, I feel like healing is just you acknowledge the traumas from your past and like from your childhood and upbringing, and
Mm,
actively seek out the tools to not only like just cope with those traumas, but learn to overcome them.
that's deep, really, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. For me, healing is knowing that one, I'm not alone,
Mhm.
and two, it takes time.
Right, definitely.
Like every time I feel sad, I don't want to be alone, like at all. For not too long, I shouldn't be alone by myself. Like I find myself responding to group chat messages like everything's cool. I find myself going through my feed like I usually do. The way how I feel doesn't really affect my social media life unless it's something forcing me to get off.
Yeah. I'm kind of the opposite because like whenever I get like down or like experiencing a low mood, it's like I tend to like distance myself, and for the most part, I'll get off of most social media and just like be on YouTube all day looking at videos like or whatnot, or even then I'm just like watching movies or TV shows. Like, so I know that's one thing I'm working on because I know it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
just like distance myself. But yeah, it's a work in progress, and of course, it takes time. So,
That's true. That's very, very true. And that's interesting. What makes you draw so close to YouTube videos during that time?
I feel like it's largely just a distraction. Like, I can look at like either one YouTuber just like talking about their day or just like going shopping or whatever, and it's like, okay, I'm distracted from my current situation and my current feelings, and I'm just like
Right.
looking at the person live their life. And I don't know, I guess that's somehow formed itself into a coping mechanism for me, just like to distance and look at YouTube. Like, I know one particular YouTuber I watch is a dog breeder, and most of her videos are just about her dogs. And I tend to watch that a lot because one, I'm an animal lover and I love dogs. So it's just like that's like a kind of a form of escape for me.
So, wow, that's really interesting to have this coping mechanism that it doesn't even have to be relatable to what you're going through. It might be just some form of interest, but it might not be what you're currently feeling. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of how I feel in terms of like the ASMRs. Like
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of people use it in terms of, you know, it helps me sleep better or it just calms my nerves and stuff. And people don't really understand the videos because it's like it should have nothing to do with what you're
Right.
using it for.
Right.
But,
And it's mentioned that because my younger cousin actually is obsessed with those videos, and it's like I remember over their house one time and my aunt was just like, yeah, he just be staying up till like 11 o'clock at night watching people just eat and type, and we're like, Justin, why do you like that? Like I mean, it's just relaxing, like it helps me sleep, like, so we don't understand it, but for him it's like something completely different.
right. Exactly. That's the funny part. People use it. And I think like if you see it in the way where he sees it in terms of, hey, that just gets me by, you
Yeah,
know, it doesn't have anything to do with what it is, but just knowing that we all have that idea that whatever we do at night or whatever we do in the morning is gonna get me by. So
yeah.
that is that is so, I don't know why that's funny to me, but it is. And that's the amazing part about it. I think also just the whole mukbangs too.
Yeah.
That being a huge community in itself. Like the ASMRs are one thing and then the mukbangs are different.
Now it's like I will say, like, I am somewhat interested in those, especially if they're like talking about a good conversation. And it's like I'll have that like playing in the background while I'm doing work or something, or while I'm playing a game or whatnot, and just listening to them talk. Cause like for me, it's just about like conversation. Cause you know how like when we hear an interesting conversation, it's like we want to tune in, we want to listen. So that's what a lot of mukbangs are like for me.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. There's one YouTuber, um, is it Zoe? I think it's Zoe.
Mm,
Um, and he would do some mukbangs sometimes. He would do his messy Mondays and then he'd do some mukbangs. And he would do it in a way where it's like, I have to either tell y'all the tea or I have to educate y'all with something. And usually it's like, dang, like this is everyday life. And being, I guess, you feel like you're in this YouTuber's presence, it helps you in some form of way of like, dang, he knows what I'm going through,
yeah,
you
definitely.
know, which is interesting. So I guess that's just in terms of social media. um I use Twitter a lot. Like I don't know what day I went without Twitter. it's it's so often where you just end up on Twitter for either something funny, it could be drama going on, it could be what, like educational, like the way how Twitter is literally a college in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what facts on Twitter, like they're so helpful, like I don't know what I'd do without it. Like what are your social medias you feel like, dang, like this right here was needed for a while?
One, I'm gonna go with the OG and say Tumblr, cause I mean Tumblr, like, out aside from all the the porn and whatnot, like Tumblr was just, it was literally one of the places to go. Like I have learned so much from Tumblr, just like with all the online links and just hearing all these different people talk and whatnot, and like actually saying something worth listening to. And it's just like, dang, like it kind of like dropped the ball a bit. So a lot of the people like either migrated to Instagram or Twitter. And then I guess like with that, that's when I migrated over to Instagram, because I'm on Instagram a lot. Well, I mean, I used to be on there a lot, but I can literally spend like a good 45 minutes to an hour just on Instagram, scrolling through the little timeline or whatnot and doing this all of that stuff. But it just a mess.
I am truly jealous of you right now because I tried to get on Tumblr. Like I really did. Downloaded the app and everything, and I never could have figured out how to work it. And I was just like, where are my friends? Where's my feed? Like, who am I gonna talk to here? What's my topic? Like, what should I look into? And then I started seeing the porn, and I was like, whoa, it's time for me to exit.
Yeah, that's like, oh, but like the interesting thing is I've actually met one really good friend off of Tumblr. Like her name is Holly and she's a hairstylist slash makeup artist located in, I think I want to say like the Silver Spring area or whatnot. But like one day she literally just messaged me off of Tumblr and it was like, it was so funny because I'll never forget. Like she messaged me with like the Adele lyrics, like, hello other side, and she was like, hello from the Maryland side. She said, yo, I saw you was in Maryland, so I'm saying like, what's, so I just wanted to say what's up, like, hey, maybe we could be friends. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, like, because I'm just pretty much open to almost everybody. So
Right.
started talking, then we exchanged phone numbers. We was talking even more, like, we're on and off because I can be like bad when it comes to texting, but officially met in Pride 2018 in person for the first time. And it's just like, she is just super sweet, just a real nice person to be around, like just have a real nice aura and whatnot. And she's about her stuff, like when it comes to her hair business.
Right.
So yeah, it's like, that's just one thing from Tumblr, the one positive takeaway.
I truly think Tumblr is an amazing platform. Like the jokes that were on Tumblr, like when people were more prominent on there, like when everything wasn't censored and just be themselves, it was funny
Yeah,
because it's nice. It's nice to see people express themselves and be in a space where I love how you found, you know, someone that you continue to talk to from there. It's awesome.
yeah, definitely.
So have you what are some, I guess, like things that you felt like, dang, like, Tumblr really spoke to me, or another social media really spoke to me in the time that I felt like things weren't the best?
Um, that's good. Excuse me. I'm sorry. My dog is like starting to bite my hand because he wants to play. I'm
Jax is ready for you.
about to put him out in a second because like, chew on that. I just gave him my pen. I'm sure I'll regret it later on. But
I hope you have more friends.
yeah, oh, I do. I have a whole bunch next to my bed. But can you repeat the question again?
Basically, like in your time of feeling like, dang, like, nothing's really like good right now, like everything is kind of off with me right now. You went on social media and you felt like, I guess, someone was speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Have
I
you
would.
had that moment?
That would probably say I'm sorry. I would probably say that came from Tumblr, I believe, or whatnot. Cause like back, like I remember one like really low period. It was just like I was really just having like issues reconciling my sexuality and just like my faith or whatnot. Because I am a Christian. Like I'm a child of pastors. Oh, well, that's one thing a lot of people don't know about me. And
I
it's like,
didn't know that.
yeah, I don't really like talk about it like that because like when people find out that I'm queer and then they see that I can be very flamboyant, it's like, dang, you're like this and your parents are pastors, like that must say something about them. So it's like I generally just like avoid talking about that. But yeah, like just growing up, that's kind of where a lot of my low moments came from. And one thing I just saw like just older people who were both queer and Christians, and they're just like explaining what they went through, how they came to this ground of acceptance. And it's like, yo, we don't have to really feel ashamed of ourselves or whatnot. So like knowing that is just like, okay, that really like spoke to me, because it's like I can be myself. Like I can be like openly queer and I can be Christian too.
I agree. I agree with, and I love that you know, feel that now. There are a lot of people still feeling like, hey, I can't be one, I can't be both. You know, I have to
Yeah,
be one or the other, and that shouldn't be at all.
right. Like I personally feel like no religion should be like should have this requirement that you have to be heterosexual. Like,
Right.
and not just for the Abrahamic religions, but just for any of them. It's like, I don't know. I feel like because humans are just so diverse, and a lot of religions are like meant to like cover like different groups of people or whatnot. So it's like not everybody is going to be straight or heterosexual in that certain group. So to say like, oh no, you can't be like a Christian and queer, you can't be Jewish and queer, you can't be a Muslim and queer, or Hindu or Buddhist or whatever, it's just like it doesn't make sense to me.
I definitely feel that frustration, because it's like, if you say God loves all his children, right? Like, why can't I be one of the people, one of the children that are loved? I, you know, like I wouldn't be able to understand how people who are very much in their prayers and loving everyone wants to judge someone for what they believe and
Right.
who they love and who they want to be with. You shouldn't have so much to say about what God chooses, and oh, you're going to hell because you don't like women, or you don't want to date this certain person or whatever, where it's just like, why so strong?
Exactly.
It's weird, but I think that's mainly what I like about social media. There's some really raw people on there that you probably wouldn't come across on the street, you know,
Right. Definitely.
to like tell you, hey, you don't have to listen to your parents about these things. Like, these things are okay. How you feel is who you are. And that's just, at the end of the day, that's your personality, rather than you being all alone and feeling like this is only me dealing with this in this county, where there's so many people going through that same thought, that same idea.
Absolutely.
I love it. I Social media is great,
Mhm.
especially when
It,
I'm going. Yes,
it really is.
it is. When you feel down, there's been multiple times where I think one of the most helpful times is being on Twitter and seeing someone say, "Hey, you reading this? Like, wow, you deserve love and you deserve happiness and stuff."
Yeah, I love posts like those, even though it's like some of them are kind of cliche and others it's like people just doing it for like for likes and whatnot. But like the ones that are genuine, you can generally typically tell that they're genuine, and it's like, yo, I'm just spreading positivity and love your way because I know we all going through it, but you know we're gonna make it out of it.
Right. Yes. Yes. Especially the threads. I think it's really about educating people, you know,
Right.
and teaching them love and showing them support. And I love to see people make threads about how you should speak to this person when they're down, or, you know, knowing someone who has anxiety. This is the thread for you. It's like, wow, y'all actually teaching people out
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely. I know I've like just learned a lot when it comes to stuff like that. Like it's just it's really crazy. Like, and it's like helped me become aware of a lot of things about myself that I personally need to work on and heal.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's amazing.
I
Like
feel the same way. I feel the same way. Do you have like an example, um, if you're comfortable with, you
yeah,
know?
like so one thing like um is like I guess in terms of or regards to like relationships or whatnot. So, spoiler alert, me and my boyfriend actually separated, but we're kind of in this like phase where we're like slowly working on getting back together or whatnot.
Mm. Aww. Why didn't you tell me that? Now I'm sad.
Because like, let me think, like, pretty much going through that process of us separating, it really made me aware of like the attachment styles, and it made me aware of my own attachment style, which is like the anxious preoccupied style. So
Mm.
that is, it's like, it's really like a fear of abandonment mixed with a fear of inadequacy and insecurity and whatnot. And so like when I learned that, like I really looked back on our relationship and saw all the times that I was clingy, all the times that I was like, oh, like who is this person? Or not, well, I wasn't like that, not that type of boyfriend, but I was like, well, I kind of was, but I was like, this person, like, why are you why is this person like saying all this stuff and this, that, and the third and whatnot? And then like it just made me realize that I was just like afraid of pretty much losing him, or him like choosing someone else over me and abandoning me,
Right.
and projected all of my insecurities onto him. And
Mm.
out last night, and I just was just talking to him, and I said, like I've really learned this about myself, and I just wanted to apologize because it wasn't fair for me to push my insecurities on you and just expect you to like fix them for me or just love me through them. Like that was my own responsibility. So
Right.
as that, honestly, I wouldn't have been made aware of that if it wasn't for social media, because I would just be like literally waking up in the middle of in the middle of the night, just like wondering about him. Like, oh my God, what is he doing? Like, is he talking to somebody? Is he like with somebody? Like, does he have someone over his house or whatnot? Mind you, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm waking up just like in this anxious, like worried state, and I'm like, girl, like.
Hey,
Please, like, why are you worried about this? Why are you stressing yourself out over this? But it's like I couldn't really like understand why I was doing that until I actually like dig deep and then like came across like different things on social media.
Wow. I'm very sorry. Especially like finding someone who you care about and who you love and then putting that on hold can definitely be something where it's like, dang, I wish we were together right now.
Yeah.
But it's really amazing how you could sit back. There are times where sometimes um, you can tell when someone hasn't really thought through something and continued with their, attachment ways of being overbearing and being overprotective and, ultimately ending up toxic, and just having that and knowing that, we have to set some boundaries. I can agree with that. To just take some time to grow and understand yourself and repair some things that we feel like are broken or need some healing. And I agree. I am in this state with my relationship where sometimes I come up with the what ifs, like I'm a what if kind of person.
Yeah.
And even recently I saw on this thread on Twitter where it was just kind of saying like if you're a what if individual, like that is one of the signs of anxiety, because I'm always thinking about what if you cheated, or what if this happened, or what if you didn't love me anymore, and then you're you're so stuck on it that they become real, and
Yeah.
then you act on it, and then that's the problem, because he's kind of one of those people where it's like, I mean, you can't be stuck on what if because that didn't happen yet, but I'm
Yeah.
like, but what if though?
I totally feel you, because it's like I was really like that a lot, like in a relationship, and it was like because I was like very needy or clingy, and like I was just like, oh, I just want to spend time with you, like whatnot. Like it would be like it kind of like I'm now seeing that it kind of like strained it, or at least I feel like it kind of strained our relationship a little. Cause like before we break up, and this is like completely 100% transparent and honest, like I had actually cheated because one day, like, or not because, but like just one day, like we was hanging out at a friend's going away party, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to spend the day with him, the evening with him, because he was about to go over his cousins, and I knew I wouldn't see him for a while, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, babe, I'm just really tired. Like, I just want to go over there and shower and like go to sleep." And I'm like, but I want to spend time with you. Like, you're about to go back to work, like, and I literally probably won't see you for the rest of the week or whatnot. Like, I just want to spend time with you. So,
Right.
okay, so he went, and I was just like really upset, and I just like held on to that. And I talked about it with my friends, like, oh yeah, he went to go spend the weekend with his cousins or whatever, even though he was already with them like the day before. But it's fine. Like, just like not seeing how selfish I was being, because like he literally has not seen them in a while, and they came up to Maryland. I think they moved up or whatnot. So he was spending time with them, but like I didn't look at it that way. I was just like, okay, like he doesn't want to spend time with me. So
Right.
the Saturday, that was on, I think, a Friday, yeah, Thursday or Friday. But like the Saturday, that following Saturday, I had actually went out and I had fooled around with this other guy. Like, we ain't do nothing too explicit, but it was still cheating. And it's like, while I was doing it, I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I know
Yeah.
like this. Like, why am I doing this? But like, I couldn't stop myself. And it wasn't until later that I realized I was doing that because I was that what if, like, oh, what if he just gets tired of me or whatnot? So I kind of responded with the like, well, I'm just going to do this just because I want to feel something in the moment. And like, whatever happens, happens. Like, if he's going to like lose interest anyway, like, let me just go ahead and do this. And
Mm.
unhealthy and toxic.
It's true. I definitely I it's heavy because there's so many different ways of trying to, I guess, repair that pain, because even though he, if you look on it from another point, it's like, but he ain't do nothing. You were hurt regardless. You wanted to be in his presence. You wanted to hang out with him. You wanted to see him. And although it could have been in a different way of doing things, maybe a communication like, hey, can I have you for the next weekend? You can chill with them and then I could just be with you next weekend or whatever. I'll hold off. Or, but I can see where, that I'm not going to be mad at you, because at the end of the day, like, people do make mistakes, and
Mm-hmm.
where it went wrong, and
Yeah,
the fact that you guys are even talking about it is a true blessing.
yeah,
So I'm very proud of you for for being the big person that I know you are, King, and doing you, and just being the best king that you can be.
I try.
I know you succeed. What you mean? But it's truly interesting to just be, I guess, in the space of social media, and literally this right here as an example of us going through our stuff.
Yeah,
Literally, we are no different.
really aren't. Like,
We aren't at all. Like, so many people going through that. Like, the amount of times where I've seen like people being in relationships, say for instance, like this girl would tweet and be like, my boyfriend, he ain't hanging out with me. Like, he's always hanging out with his boys and stuff. And then you just have people on Twitter like, yo, dump that man or something,
yeah,
You have all these girlfriends and guy friends telling you what to do. You don't even know them from nowhere, but it's interesting.
it is like, it's just. it's interesting and crazy because it's like they don't know nothing about the relationship, but they like, girl, that man is toxic and trash and this. Because, you know, a lot of the Twitter children love to throw around the word narcissist.
They love.
I'm like, it's like every year y'all just find a single word and just like attach that to literally everything. Like first it was vibes, then it was energy, and now it's like,
No,
like,
you're
girl,
right.
left you red, like while he's at work, girl, he a narcissist. Like it's just, it's crazy.
Literally 2017, them girls was talking about hashtag he's wasting your time, girl. It's
Oh,
oh my gosh, that's so funny. Cause it's true. Like, okay, that's the bad part in terms of social media. People be taking it from an inch all the way to a mile. All you could say is, man, my boyfriend, he ain't really do. We just hung out and watched TV last night. I was thinking we were gonna get it on and stuff, like ridiculous. And then people talking about, girl, he cheating on you. Like that's
like girl, he tired from coming over the other girl house or other boy house, beating on you. Like, ooh, I'm not.
it's bad. It's really bad. It gets bad. What do you think in terms of social media? Do you feel like, yeah, I should have never came on here. I'm going through some stuff and y'all not helping at all?
Ooh, child. I think it's like when I don't know. I feel like when a lot of people are just like sharing their issues, and it's like really similar to mine, but it's like they're not sharing to like overcome that. They're just sharing just for attention, and it's like, okay, this wasn't it. Like this was a bad idea. Like, cause it's like we're not trying to get better here. We're just trying to like stand on our little $5 soapbox and just like out S's. Like
Right.
I can't have this because like we both can't be like in this sinking boat. Like and you
No.
the hole even bigger and not trying to like patch it up. Like then like when it gets like that, I'm like, okay, like I need to like just like or like coming across people who are just like incredibly toxic and they just don't care at all. Like and they just literally say whatever's on their mind. And it's just like, one, why do you feel this comfortable to be this toxic? And then the fact that there are like thousands of people that are co-signing with you or agreeing with you, it's just like, yeah, I need to like step back from this. Like
I totally agree. Oh my gosh. It's so interesting how you mentioned that because literally, like, all the time you go on social media, say for instance there's something trending and I'm like, dear gosh, something's trending, we're not gonna all be agreeing. It's just like, you know, for example, the whole the DMV page, right? A lot of people got exposed from that. um a lot of people were able to share their stories and stuff, which is always a good thing, but it's really how people react to it. You see, like, okay, I gotta unfollow you and I gotta block you. Like, I gotta, you know, avoid some people here because some people are saying how you're a liar and you don't know what you're talking about and everyone will do anything for clout and those things. And it's like, my gosh, like y'all can't just not say anything.
yeah, like y'all, it's like for the stuff that requires y'all 2 cents, y'all always want to act like y'all are broke. Like, oh, you know, girl, my check ain't cash yet. Like, so you know, I ain't got nothing to say. But with everything else, it's like, okay, well, let me just deposit my 2 pennies or my quarters in here.
Right.
That same energy, and like especially when it comes to stuff like that, like one, I'm just like really, I'm on the line of I'm always going to believe the victim until like the total truth comes out. Like, so if they're lying, then it's like, okay, we'll deal with that later. But right now, I'm going to believe them. Like, but like these people like, oh, well, you know, that's not real. Like, nah, he would never do that. Nah, they lying, she lying, he lying. Like they like that's not real. I'm like, keep that to yourself. Just keep that to yourself because it's disgusting and it's ugly.
Exactly. A lot of people be showing their ugly side all the time, and it's like, you're such a nice looking individual. Can you like shut up just
Like,
for a little
why
bit?
that match the outside appearance with a lot of the children? Like, just, I'm like, y'all be so attractive, but just so, just ugly on the inside. And I really hate using that word ugly, but like, that's just how a lot of folks be on the inside.
Exactly. And I think that's why people kind of avoid social media and they don't really last long on there, is because anytime you try to confide on the TL, you have people coming at you, and it's like, that's my life. This is my personal business. And people have,
Exactly.
right, people have all these things to say. And it's like, are you kidding me right now? Like, with the whole like Megan situation, right?
Oh my God. That Jesus.
Oh, it was the horror. The way how people showed themselves.
How misogynoir jumped all the way out, the transphobia, like it was the coddling of heterosexual black men, like oh
Mhm.
atrocious.
Man. And it's the simple fact that people already don't believe black women, right? And it's like, you have people out here talking about, oh, he didn't do it. What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about?
I'm like, y'all weren't even there, and like the girl literally had gunshot wounds on her foot. Like, so if he ain't do it, who did? Like,
Right.
if he was the only one with the gun and she has gunshot wounds on her foot, like, two and two would equal four. But y'all saying, nah, 2 + 2 is equal to 57. Like, it's just like, come on now, let's use our common sense.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
it's crazy. Like that whole situation, I'm just like, I'm so disappointed in y'all. And I'm like, it'd be a lot of the quote unquote pro black folks too. Like, which that's honestly kind of a reason why I kind of like step back from a lot of the main like pro black movements or whatnot. Cause I'm like, y'all aren't pro black at all. Y'all are just pro black male and pro black heterosexual male at that. Like,
Mm.
I'm like, you can't say Black Lives Matter or whatnot. And, geez, let me stop before I get off topic. But
No, it's okay. It's okay.
listen, like that's one thing that I'm really passionate about, just Black liberation in general. And I'm like, that whole Megan situation, it's like y'all are really showing that y'all do not care for all of us. Like, I forgot who it
Right.
was. One rapper or something said that, oh yeah, Tory, whatever, bruh man saw like Megan's like penis or whatnot, and he started shooting. And I'm like,
That is
that's
disgusting.
so disgusting and toxic. Cause I'm like, there are trans women being killed, black trans women being killed every day for stuff like that. And you're turning
Right.
it a joke. Like that's just disgusting.
It's
Like
that's sick. That's really sick.
it, it really is.
And I heard that people were calling her a man, which I find very uncalled for, because
Yeah.
I, I don't get it. But the simple fact that that's even on there is, I, like, and even that girl, Drea is her name.
Mhm.
Drea, come in talking about how she wishes a man was as, like, I guess, as forceful as Tory was to Megan and stuff. Like, I wish somebody would shoot my foot, like, as like comparing that to being in love with them, like I wish a man had more love for me, the way how Tori did, because you know any guy that loves you enough will do stuff like something in that sense. And it's
Ooh.
just kind of like, y'all are black people. These are black people we're talking about saying this stuff. You
Oh
know what I
God, that
mean?
thing, like just this whole the concept of struggle love and how prevalent it is on social media or whatnot. And it's just like that, like first of all, like if you love somebody, why would you shoot them in the foot because you're mad? Like I would
Mm-hmm.
never shoot my boyfriend or partner in the foot because we got mad at something and I didn't want them to walk away. Like not like that's crazy. Like
It is. It's insane because it don't even. And I'm
like
glad you called it struggle love, because I never knew what name it was. Like I never understood what to call it. Like I didn't know if I should call it ride or die love or something like that.
honestly the same thing. Like you can call it that because it's a mess. Like it's like, oh yeah, he cheated like 27 times, but you know he was sorry. Like so, yeah, you should stay with him. Like, and it's just like, no, no, that's not it. That's not real love.
Nope.
And a lot of people are pushing that on social media as true love is just a mess.
It is really sad because you see all these aesthetics, and it's nice looking to see a lovely black couple in their outfits and whatnot and doing their thing. But at this point, like we have to really be aware of some of the stuff that happens in relationships and know that they're not perfect just because they're being posted
Right.
on the TL. I think we've grown older. I've stopped thinking that when I was 13. So I think people should do the same.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. And to have those things, I think that's definitely a thing that I see on social media, and it lets me know, okay, this is my time to leave for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I definitely think that those people that ruin, and either regardless if they're trolling or not, and saying how like, oh, Megan deserved it, like how can you really say that? Like this girl got shot in the foot,
Like
you
that's
know.
I don't care what she may or may not have done. Like she does not deserve that because like or
Mm.
like just the same people saying, "Oh, she deserves that," are the same people saying it doesn't matter what any black man did who was killed by the police. Like he didn't deserve to be killed. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I can recognize that he does not deserve to die based off of his actions. But y'all saying, "Oh, well, she had it coming to her. Like you know, she had an attitude." You know, that's the problem. These females don't know their place. Like, and so you know, he had to like remind her. Like, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all sound exactly like white people who try to discredit the Black Lives Matter movement, like by saying, "Oh, well, what did he do? Like, did he comply to the police? Like, did he listen? Was he respectful?" Like, it's just like y'all really showing that y'all just don't care, like, and that y'all are just toxic and a whole.
Mm-hmm. Right. I agree. I definitely agree. It's really as you can see, social media has these upsides of being able to even express topics like that so people can be comfortable. But when you get too comfortable and you start being disrespectful and even pointing at your fellow peer, right? Because we're all supposed to be black. We all went to class together, right? We should be able to be comfortable enough to express one another without harming each other. And when you talk about how Megan deserved this, that ain't about being comfortable. You're just being disrespectful at this point, because I shouldn't have to be comfortable and disrespect you at the same time. I should be able to express that, hey, listen, she didn't deserve, why should she deserve that? Like,
Right.
because Megan is no different from a Black woman like me or a Black woman like any other woman, you know? It's kind of weird because it's like, what's the difference between her and me? If you're able to talk about that on the TL and you follow me, right? So what's the difference? Because she makes music you don't like or something? Like, it don't make sense.
Right, make it make sense. Like,
People are ridiculous, truly. People are ridiculous. But at the same time, they not gonna kick me out because I like Twitter too much for me to leave.
I'm starting to get into it. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how it works. Like, I know, like, when I be trying to post or whatnot, and I just see a little thread join, I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do this, so let
That's how I felt about Tumblr.
but I'm learning.
I'm proud of you, and trust me, I'm gonna hop on Tumblr when I can. I'm gonna do that just for you. I'll do it.
Yes, and I'll definitely help you out with that.
Please. I don't want to be a grandma with it. Oh my God, King, thank you so much for coming on and truly expressing some things that, you know, I know are probably, you know, currently going on in life, but I really appreciate you, just expressing how much of a human you are at the end of the day. So, hey, if you want to do any shout outs for our episode and let them know where to follow you, just, whatever you want to say.
Well, y'all can follow me on Twitter at Jer_Central. That's JER_Central. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at J.Sinclair, SINCLAIRE. And y'all can even follow me on Snapchat at Jer_City. So, all my socials are there. Like, y'all can follow me to, like, stay up to date with what I'm doing, even though I rarely post nowadays. But I do have a project coming up soon that I am very excited with sharing with y'all. I'm not going to share too much yet. My good sister, she can know what I'm talking about. Yeah, all I'll say is stay tuned and keep an eye out.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Listen, y'all gonna love it. Trust me.
Yeah, because look, like when this project come out, it's going to be pretty much like this because honestly, I have a lot to say and it's time that I got my voice out there. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you should. Your commentary is beautiful and I can't wait for what you got.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you guys for listening. Please feel free to share this episode with your family and friends and let me know what y'all think. Would y'all go on social media for healing or would you stay out? All right. Well, thank you, King, so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll end this episode here. Bye.
That's all.